Mega Man Legends 2 is the sequel to Mega Man Legends and both sadly and currently the last title of the main Mega Man Legends games, as Capcom didn't work on Mega Man Legends sequel aside from the cancelled Legends 3 for a long time. Although modern surfboards is now part of a job requirement for working in Capcom, sounds kinda cool, but that's besides the point. Legends 2 brought improvements to the gameplay, as well as revealing a bit more about the world of Mega Man Legends and the characters living in it. A year after Legends, Bell went to a news conference held above an island known as Forbidden Island, the site where Barrow and a friend, fellow retired digger Werner and Blucher, went missing for a while, and later both of Rose's parents went missing from her life, and they were stranded there. As the conference commenced, the Bonds, teaming up with a now jobless Glide from Misadventures and veteran pirates, Bola and Claymore, trying to get info on the treasure that is supposedly on Forbidden Island. Bell noticed and was shocked that one of the news reporters looked and sounded exactly like his daughter, aka Rose's mother, and the ship that the conference was held got shot down and falling into the storm surrounding the island. Meanwhile, Rock, Row, and Data were watching the news conference from the flutter, saw what happened, and hastily flight Flutter to the location of Forbidden Island, which unfortunately for them, Data accidentally set the Flutter on fire, causing Rock to put it out and Row making land at a nearby island, in which they met a man named Joe, who had a dropship made but still needed refractor to power it up. Rock and Row followed Joe into one of the nearby ruins, rescued him, and recovered the refractor, in which Joe allows them to use it to get into Forbidden Island. Then Rock went into Forbidden Island, destroyed the Reaper bots guarding the island, and unsealed two unknown individuals, saved a group of diggers who were lost on the island, and the storm dispersed, saving the people, including Barrow inside the ship. The two who were unsealed people, who were revealed to be the Ancients, told Barrow and Blucher about the keys, in which Barrow and Blucher helped them find the keys. In exchange, they would be rewarded the Mother Lode, which is a refractor-making machine. However, the pirates, having eavesdropped in the conversation, went on the hunt for the keys. Barrow, having suspected that the pirates were on the roof, was forced to have Rock help find the keys and stop the pirates. Thus, Rock, Row, and Data went on another venture of a lifetime, and trying to solve the mystery of the doppelganger of Row's mother. The gameplay of Legends 2 is similar to Legends 1, but this time, Rock will have to travel to different islands to find the keys, so most of the ruins aren't connected to each other, so the only way to travel between the islands is by Flutter. Rock is still controlled the same way as you would in the original, but this time the lock-on function is mobile. However, there's no semi-lock-on this time around, and the equipment has been expanded to having multiple helmets and shoes, as there are now elemental traps and status effects which can range from causing extra damage to Rock's HP to changing the Mega Buster's range to 0. So changing equipment is a must, along with a special tank that can heal effects that can't be perfected with the new equipment. Like usual, most of the equipment and sub-weapons can be created from items that Rock finds throughout the various islands and ruins in the game. But the upgrades for the sub-weapons can be a bit expensive. However, you can affect prices by taking advantage of the returning karma system, which having Rock a going bad boy can actually increase prices, while going good boy decreases them. However, if you want to have more money early on, you can go or take license tests, which are simple but tough time trials to beat in a certain amount of time. Although in case you did pass the test, the game's difficulty increased with a better payoff when you destroyed the Reaper bots, along with unlocking new ruins to explore. The layout of the ruins are pretty much static, but the type of Reaper bots you face in these ruins will randomly change in one of 3 possible configurations every time you re-enter each room, so you'll never get bored exploring the ruins. But the same thing can't be said if you're in the endgame, as a factor was removed just to make things easy in that case. Like in the previous game, there are side quests in which you can participate at any point of Legends 2, and like usual, they range from item fetching to donating money to fix a town, but Play also added trivia tests, which test your knowledge of various topics back in the late 1990s, which unfortunately didn't change for the PSN version, as there's a policy in Sony of America that the game must not be altered, so no update trivia questions and answers for US fans. Legends 2 is an improvement to the original, as it brought in more new stuff the table, as well as making the game harder depending on whether or not it should take on the license test. I had fun traveling between the islands, interacting with the locals, taking care of the pirates, and exploring the ruins, but the license tests are hard since you have to try to beat the Reaper bots as fast as possible, and it's best to use the much rumored rapid fire glitch at those tests. So I recommend this game to Mega Man fans, Legends fans, action adventure fans, and newcomers to the Mega Man franchise.
Well, there goes another Gustav. But it doesn't matter. You're too late. We won. Bot is on his way back to the surface with the key. What? Why is your face red? Why is everyone looking at me that way? Miss Tron, your clothes have been kind of ripped up. Actually, your clothes are gone. What? You dummies! Why didn't you tell me before? Retreat! Retreat!